What's going on, guys? And welcome back to the WCW Nitro Podcast. I'm your host. I'm Notorious One. I am Dom. I'm here with BDC, and I'm here with Strat Facts. It's been a minute since we did this, but we're going to bring it back to you. This is WCW Monday Nitro. Fellas, what's going on?
It is all good in the hood. It is Sunday. It is night. The Dodgers won the World Series last night. Damn it. Yeah. It's Sunday night. What's going on? What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Strat?
It's also Sunday night. The Dodgers did win, and so did the 49ers today. Incredible. We're not dating this show at all, but that's irrelevant because we're here to talk about a show from the past, the far distant past, and that's WCW Nitro, January 22nd, 1996.
Yes. Yeah. So we're going to take it back to Las Vegas in the Caesar Plaza. Or Palace. The Plaza Palace. Yeah.
Caesar's Palace. Caesar's Palace.
Not quite WrestleMania 10
right.
or 9.
WrestleMania 9. All right, well, whatever.
WrestleMania 1 them.
Oh, man.
Well, we got Eric Bischoff, Steve Mongo McMichael, and Bobby the Brain Heenan on commentary, and they announced that Macho Man Randy Savage, he's going for the title against Ric Flair later on tonight, and we also have the tag team match for the tag titles. We have Sting and Lex Luger taking on the Harlem Heat. So you hearing these two matches, I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of dig it.
There's more
Let's see what they're going to do
here than in any AEW battle of the belts.
Yeah, well, while this takes place after they make the announcements, Konan's crashed the booth and announced that who he is, that he is the Mexican champion, and that tomorrow night in Clash of the Champions, he's going to defeat Psychosis.
Do you want to know how much of a master psychologist Hulk Hogan was at the time, right? Conan was convinced, he was the big Mexican heavyweight champion star. He wanted to go head to head with, presumably the heavyweight champion of the world, Hulk Hogan, as a champion of Mexico versus the champion of America. He wanted that kind of deal. That's how highly he thought of himself. And, it's good to have confidence in the world of professional wrestling. But I can't say this word correctly. Subtly, subconsciously. We're going to get to it in a little bit, but Hulk Hogan later in this show, he beats the United States champion, one-man gang.
What?
Guess who Conan goes on to beat for the United States championship eventually? The one-man gang.
What?
Hulk Hogan is better than Conan already. That is the master psychologist that I, Hulk Hogan, am. Telling the audience that I am better than Conan already. Anyway.
Way to go, Jimmy Reed. Way to go.
Yep.
All right. Well, our opening match, we have the Macho Man Randy Savage taking on the Nature Boy Ric Flair for your World Heavyweight Championship, and Macho Man's music is playing. And we have a bunch of women coming out down to the ring. And the first woman that I recognized was Terry Bollea's wife, Linda
Hogan.
I'm looking. Is that Linda? Yes,
yep.
That was Linda.
Yep. Linda came out first. Woman came out fourth. Deborah McMichael came out fifth.
She was there too?
Yes, she was.
Okay, unidentified.
I didn't peep her.
She came out behind woman.
See, historically, Hollywood and in the entertainment industry have been notoriously creeps when they bring out attractive women as valets or whoever to present their inside. Not WCW, not Monday Nitro, not right here, not right now. They brought out
every woman they had
of age women, more than legally aged women. They didn't play with that game back then. Well, Neil Diamond might have, but we're not talking about Sweet Caroline. We're talking about woman, oh woman, won't you marry me now? Don't turn on the Macho Man yet.
Woo. Well, after this, Hulk Hogan comes out. He said, because you're my best friend, I want to wish you good luck. And when you win that title, I want to be the first one to get that shot, brother. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dig it.
To the surprise of absolutely no one.
Hulk Hogan is like Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. He's trash. we'll talk more about the Hulkster later.
Wow. All right. Well, like I said, we got Macho Man versus Ric Flair with Jimmy Hart in his corner. And Flair runs up on woman and he woos in her face and she slaps him one good time.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
And then the match begins and these guys, they are bringing it. They got to the point where Savage went off the top rope for that double axe handle and he missed and he crashed straight into the barricade. And that's when Ric Flair, he takes advantage. He does what he got to do. But long story short, Jimmy Hart, he tried to interfere and referee Pee Wee Anderson got distracted. But Arn Anderson comes out and he knocks Ric Flair because Randy Savage ducked. And then he nails Arn Anderson, and then Hogan comes out to make the save. Savage goes for the elbow, and he wins. So there you go. But after the bell was rung, when they were shaking hands and, Savage was celebrating whatnot, Hogan was acting like he won the damn title. And then Macho Man didn't like that. He did not like that, brother. So Mean Gene gets in the ring, and Savage said, "Stop the music, stop the music, stop the music." Yeah. Savage said, "You're celebrating like you won, but you didn't. We're friends. Don't ruin this. Don't ruin this." Savage said, "You get your number one spot in Caesar's Palace, but you gotta become the number one contender, brother."
Yeah. So the most important piece of everything you just said is that the commentating team announced at some point in the earlier part that Miss Elizabeth was reuniting with Hogan and Savage, which made absolutely zero sense to anything. It wasn't a build up. There was nothing to it. They just said it. It was like, oh yeah, Miss Elizabeth will be reunited with Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage with Kevin Green watching her back at the Clash. Why? Why did I need to know that? I didn't really care. It made no sense to me why they felt the need to announce that right at that moment, but okay. Match was cool. Match was very Macho and Flair. I mean, you go into a Flair match, what do you expect from them? You got what you expect. You go into a Macho match, what do you expect from them? You got what you got. So it was very much a classic Macho Man and a classic Flair match. Hulk cheering and celebrating like a schoolgirl wasn't on my bingo cards, but I do like that Macho Man basically was like, all right, calm down.
Basically.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Your ass is a little too excited for this. You take it easy. You earn your spot, and then I got you. So, but it was all in all, it was a cool match. It was, as I said, it was a classic match. So, that's what I feel.
It's been a while since the Nitros, since the IDM Nitro podcast has been around, but weren't there promos about the Mega Powers bringing out a secret weapon? And then they announced it with Miss Elizabeth?
Later on that night.
So it didn't even happen before this?
Not yet. Nope.
Not yet? Because isn't the Clash of the Champions?
Clash of Champions literally the next night, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Right. So I think I watched the Clash of Champions before this Nitro. So it's all in reverse.
Yeah, so the secret weapon was Miss Elizabeth and Kevin Green. Okay. And they announced that before the promos, yeah.
Kevin Green, when I ran into him as a wrestling fan, because then not the football part, he was a Carolina Panther. So hearing him, I don't know what team he was at this time in January.
96.
They kept saying Pittsburgh Steelers.
Steelers, okay. So he's in the Steelers here in January. Sometime later, I guess he went to the Panthers. And then when he came back to do a one-on-one match with the Giant or something at one of those Bash of the Beaches, he was like, and another football team. It was just...
I think...
Panthers, yeah.
Well, no, I think I seem to remember when he fought against the Giant, I think he might have actually been on the 49ers or some team that wore red.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, because he was wearing red and white in the ring. So, I think he was 49ers at that point.
No one wanted to keep him. They just kept trading him around. Huh?
Yeah.
But this match right here with the Macho Man and Ric Flair, it's just another I felt like these guys were wrestling each other every single week back then.
Seemed
Maybe
like
that
it.
wasn't the case. But it felt like they were on speed. They're like, get all your shit in. Because we have 1 hour show and we got lots to do. So Macho and Ric Flair, they were like on speed. They did not let anything breathe. And you know how Ric Flair matches when he was still, booked as a good wrestler, that's not his style. But he was like, they were going at super duper speed just to get all their stuff in, get all their spots in before the commercial break. And if you just watch it as is, not knowing what would eventually happen, it's like it's a lot to take in. But it's like all the pieces are there. All the pieces are there to build the next 3 months of television. And sometimes they say if you can go back in time and knowing what and say it was wrestling was real, it's like, oh my god, all these terrible things are going to happen to you guys between now and uncensored. It's like he's gonna poke you in the eye, she's gonna poke you in the eye, all the women are gonna turn on you, things of that nature. But yeah, Hogan coming out and being super cheering, he's doing the ear cupping, but he's pointing to the Macho Man. Oh my god, this guy is such a lunatic. But I loved it.
It was a good time back then. Heck yeah, we all enjoyed this joint.
Because this was so formative. I just don't know how I felt like I've watched this show, like this particular show, like many times, and I don't know how that would have been possible. I didn't record Nitro at the time on VHS while watching Raw live. I didn't do that yet, but who knows? But a major moment because as Bobby Heenan mentioned later on in the show, there was some kind of like television convention, so they had all the suits in the building. They're really trying to put on a great performance. And that's why they had all the megastars here, all the important angles happening here, all the merchandise given away. You might have seen one of the suits with a little boy, probably his son, hopefully. And he had a little Hogan character hat. I was like jealous of that right now. I'm like, it's a cool ass hat. But they were out to impress. And that's why they have this major moment, this major match, major title change. And Mega Power still going at it.
Yes, almost 10 years later. All right, well, after this, our next match, we have Dean Malenko taking on Flying Brian Pillman. And then Dean Malenko, he's, unaffiliated with anybody at this time?
That's right.
Right.
And Brian Pillman, he's down with the Horsemen. And a couple times during this match, they made a loose cannon reference. So we're starting to see Brian Pillman coming that loose cannon.
Yep, and he was very much beginning to assert that style in the ring too.
Yeah, so the match was going slow till the point where Pillman was like basically down on one knee in front of Dean Malenko, and they just slapped him in the face and like, oh, okay, here we go. So this is when it started to pick up. I'm like, when I first seen these two, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a good match, but it just started off too slow to my liking, and then that slap just changed everything all up.
Look at these two guys, pillars of the light heavyweight and cruiserweight division, stinking up the joint.
Shoot, the fans love that damn gut buster that Dean Malenko did. Threw him up and
he
hasn't gotten a lot of press lately because just haven't seen any of his work. But Dean Malenko here reminds me a lot of Jonathan Gresham. Just a smaller guy but knows all his stuff. So and in shape, good looking dude. So and then I'm thinking about Brian Pillman. Looking at him here, it's like, man, this guy's been around WCW a long time. 1989 at least.
Yeah.
It's like, he's just still getting paid, still sticking it out. It's like, what, you didn't leave to the WWF yet? It's like, what the hell?
You should have.
For sure.
But the finish of the match, Brian Pillman was on a ring apron. Dean Malenko was inside the ring, and for some reason, Malenko's foot got caught in the rope, and Pillman took advantage, and he got the 1, 2, 3, and that was it. His foot was in the rope. But we see referee Nick Patrick just looking, and like you kind of see that he can see the foot on the rope, but it doesn't matter.
If I could backtrack just a little bit, the previous match, someone rang the damn bell early. I was like, hey, who bought this cheese?
Was that Dominic Mysterio?
Yeah.
Damn.
That Dom, he's a dirty guy. He's dirty.
Oh my goodness.
That shit was hilarious.
Yeah. I expected more out of this match. I know, it's a TV show, it's, TV time and whatnot. Like, that's why it made sense that the World Championship match was the first match, because you could go a little bit longer than anything. But this match right here, this definitely should have stole the show right here. But it definitely didn't do that whatsoever.
Killed the crowd.
Yeah,
what they already saw.
Yeah, I want to say that I think the problem with the match wasn't so much Dean, but it's because of Pillman more so starting to embrace this loose cannon heel role, so he's not really engaging in a lot of the high flying and a lot of that speed based offense that he's used to, because he spent so much time playing to the crowd. He spent so much time dogging it as a heel. It really slowed the match down. So it really, I mean, good match overall, but for what it should hit, what it could have been, and what it actually should have been, yeah, it fell short.
Yeah.
I was just, like I said, I like looking at it from the point of view. I'm like, hey, it's Brian Pillman. He's feuding with that no good U.S. champion, Lex Luger. He doesn't look the same. They both aged a little bit,
Yeah.
But this is Brian Pillman in his final form almost.
Yep.
But we would see him get a little more interaction later on in the show.
All right. Well, our next match is for the World Tag Team Championship. We have Harlem Heat, your tag team champions, taking on Sting and Lex Luger. And I was looking forward to this match. And Sting at this time, he was having some issues with Lex Luger and like, what side is Lex Luger on? Can I trust you, Lex? But when Lex got the tag, Jimmy Hart came out of nowhere and he handed him something. But while Sting was still getting beat up, Luger was just still standing on the ring apron. And when he finally got in the ring, he cold clocked Booker T, and we see all these damn silver dollars in the middle of the ring. And he get the 1, the 2, and the 3, and they show the replay. And Nick Patrick see all these damn coins, the Sonic rings in the middle of the ring. And Lex Luger and Sting are your new tag team champions. And Sting is so confused, like, wait, we won? Yeah, we won. Yeah, okay.
Booker got beat by $20.
Wow, that was his toll money for the night.
Lex Luger, like, he's on the apron and he's obviously holding he's in a hammerlock. It's so corny. It's so corny. It's like, why is he doing that? And once they made the reveal very soon that Jimmy Hart gave him quarters, because I totally didn't see Jimmy Hart on a replay. Glad they showed the replay. But yeah, he's hiding it in his hand. It's like, why aren't you tagging with that hand, you fool? Man, Lex Luger was just, when you read back on it and you hear the stories from Bischoff, particularly, like, this dude was having the time of his life when he first came back. They said he was lowballed on the offer, but he became a locker room leader to start taking the job more seriously and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, he probably did, coming from the WWF environment. He loosened up. He's like, oh, I'm back with my friends, Sting and Flair and whomever, but I like, you'll see in the coming, up in the springtime, the Sting and Luger tag team, one of my favorite tag teams of the WWF at the time, Owen and the Bulldog. I'm like, man, and they were contemporaries at the same time, just different companies. And it's like almost a similar dynamic. You just saw them having fun, and it reflected in their work. And it was like, God, these are just great mixed tag teams. No, they're not the Smoking Guns wearing the same brother Bart, brother Billy, or brother Booker T and brother Stevie Ray, But they were makeshift tag teams, and it actually worked out pretty well for Bulldog and Owen and for Sting and Luger. But yeah, if Harlem Heat can look into the future, they're gonna have a great year. They have all the great tag teams to work with: the Steiners, the Road Warriors, the Outsiders, the Nasty Boys. They're having a banger year, coming up. But this match, I thought it was That was a very fun little thing, and love Sting, Luger, love Harlem Heat. What can go wrong, really?
What can go wrong?
BDC, did you enjoy it?
I thought it was cool. I did enjoy it. I laughed at the very beginning where Mongo was like, "Oh yeah, Sister Sherry's not here. Yeah, Harlem Heat told him to go take a hike." It's like, okay, dude. Like, wow, because I think she's still running on that Colonel Parker angle.
Yeah,
so yeah, so I mean, it was good to see because she literally cost him a couple of matches. So, but yeah, it was like it's funny because watching Luger, because I saw this. I actually watched this episode of Nitro back in September. Have not watched it again. Have notes. And since seeing two different WCW events from like the late 80s where Lex Luger is in them, seeing him in those matches and remembering what he was like in this one, two completely different people. And it was weird to me because I thought about when I was watching him last week, and I was like, man, where's this Lex Luger been? Like, this guy is great. This guy is amazing. But then John throws a nugget. It's like, oh, he was just happy to be back. So they told him to go jump off a bridge. He was going to go do it. And literally that translates in the ring. So now it makes sense to me, because it wasn't making sense to me once I saw. I was like, wait, he was actually this guy. What happened? But yeah, it makes sense. But it was a good match. Sting is always good to see, but Harlem Heat is always good to see in a match. So I enjoyed it. The only thing was I felt it was a little long. It was a little drawn out. They could have wrapped some things up a little quicker and gotten the job done. But it is what it is. Sting got beat up for like an hour. The show's only an hour, but he got beat up for like an hour. But outside of that, it was a good match. It was good.
Yeah, Luger was definitely a different breed in the 80s compared to his return back in WCW.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't care for this Lex Luger right here from WWF and to the Total Package days. But him in the 80s with that theme song and whatnot, and he's putting on these clinical matches, I definitely enjoy it. But
Dom's favorite makeshift tag team, Christian Cage and Lex Luger.
Jesus.
I'm watching Luger getting beat down by Stevie Ray here, and just wondering what's going through Lex Luger's mind. Like this doesn't stylistically, this doesn't make any sense.
Ow! Ow!
Stop that! Stop that! All right, Stevie Ray during Booker T's Hall of Fame induction speech. He seemed like the most sincere, nicest guy, and then I think Randy met him, and he was just distracted, like he was on the phone and he was dealing with something not great, so he was like kind of out of it. So Randy goes to get his autograph. He's like, he's not even paying attention. Like, oh, that sucked. It seemed like he was such a good guy to meet, and then if that's your interaction, it's like, oh, that's.
He was a good guy to meet until you actually met him.
They're human. That's what happens.
Human. You get some bad news.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, your main events.
Oh boy.
We have the United States champion, the One Man Gang, taking on Hulk Hogan. And in 1996, you hearing the One Man Gang be United States champion, that's like an oxymoron. It doesn't go.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
I mean, the whole premise of how he got it was just the whole scenario of the U.S. Heavyweight Championship at that time was just so ridiculously out of pocket and off the mark. You just didn't know. It was like it was being defended. It was Sting had it, then he didn't have it, but you never saw him actually lose it. And then you had to find out he lost it to Japan against somebody who then lost it to the One Man Gang, and then One Man Gang brings it back, and now he's the U.S. Heavyweight Champion with no type of explanation as to how this happened. They never said like they had, and I don't even remember who took the title off of Sting, but they had him on the show once or twice as the United States Heavyweight Champion, and they didn't even describe why he got it. There was like, oh, we're just passing the belt around to people. We don't really care to tell you that he actually beat him in a match. And if you went to look it up, you're probably not going to find it because we didn't record it. So, we're just going to go out ahead and just let you believe whatever you want. We're just going to start throwing the title on people, and then eventually we'll start defending it in WCW again, and that's when it'll matter again.
There's no prestige ever with the WCW U.S. title because everyone saw it. I did it in school all the time. I did, versus list, world title, world champion versus world champion, Intercontinental, U.S., cruiserweight versus light heavyweight, tag champions versus tag champions.
Mm-hmm.
And, the U.S. title just never. The U.S. title was never the Intercontinental title.
No,
even when the Intercontinental title was at its worst. Well, right. I guess then it would match the U.S. title, and throughout the rest of Nitro's run, Scott Steiner would be like the longest reigning U.S. champion. Luger beat Bret Hart for it. Bret Hart had it from Booker T or DDP, and Raven and DDP, of course. Goldberg, Kurt Hennig, all these guys have held the U.S. title, just never meant anything. The guy he lost to was Kurosawa.
Who did?
There you go.
Who would be
One Man Gang?
No, Sting.
Oh, okay.
Sting lost to Kurosawa in one of those early Nitros. They're like, coming up next on Nitro, it's Kurosawa versus Alex Wright, and they show him just wearing his dragon mask, just a literal Godzilla mask. But yeah, just like BDC went through the timeline already of that the champions there. They never bothered to explain anything. I bet they explained it on the Pro, that Saturday morning show.
Maybe maybe they did. I had to get the explanation from Google and shit because I had no clue. Because I was like, well, maybe they did mention something about it. And I looked it up and I was like, nah, bro, they didn't mention a thing. It just happened here. I was like, Jesus, here we go. But yeah. But back to One Man Gang, and because we it's crazy because I remember One Man Gang being such a talked about athlete and wrestler before his WCW time. Like, you heard a lot about him overseas, and he was this menace and all this stuff like that. And then they got him over to WCW and he stunk. And then they brought him to WWE and he became Akeem. And, and it just did not really go right for him ever after that. It was like he came to America and just got tanked. And I never understood it, especially with what he brought with him when he came, because it was like they were talking about, this dude's a menace. He's straight. He's ridiculous. He's going to do this, that, and the other. He's going to destroy things. And he came over here and was just like, wah, wah. He ended up on the Dungeon of Doom. That should have been more than enough to let you know exactly what they thought about him. They put him there with them misfits. And yeah, then he ends up in a non-title match with Hulk Hogan. Why? Because if it had been a championship match, Hulk Hogan would have been the U.S. heavyweight champion. And I don't think it was in his contract to ever be anything other than the world heavyweight champion. So it was a non-title match. And it was, typical Hogan fights. He gets beat up a little bit. Yeah, I think he what, let me see. I put in my notes, Hogan with some villainous moves, bite to the head and thumb to the eyes. So
Hogan was a heel at heart.
Yeah, so it was like he's starting to put out those third man vibes.
Doing that for years. That shit crazy.
Doink.
But all right, so they keep bringing in all of Hogan's old opponents from the 80s and whatnot, from WWF to WCW. And, okay, One Man Gang, yes, he was a menace back in WWF, but come on now. They killed his character when he went to the American Dream or African Dream, Akeem. And look, even when Hogan was hitting him with the punches, he even showed some, some type of version of Akeem because he just started doing. He was doing the jive and whatever he was doing, like little T-Rex thing he was doing. Like, what the hell are you doing? And then,
yeah.
My God, like, why you keep bringing? Like,
I mean, it's hard to identify exactly the kind of person BDC was alluding to. I mean, like, later on SmackDown, Johnny Ace would be in charge, and he'd hired all these tall, lunky dudes, and. The only example, the best one I can give is Kenzo Suzuki. They originally brought him in. They want him to be like the Japanese foreign menace against Chris Benoit as the world champion, but they forgot that he's actually Canadian. So why is he defending the U.S.'s honor? But he's supposed to be this big bad guy, and he was the drizzling shits. But he did come in with promos and hype videos like, ooh, who's this guy coming? And then like One Man Gang, it's like he had a big bad reputation, a big bad name. I guess he was scary with his Mickey Mouse tattoos and his 20-gallon head, but he just wasn't that scary or intimidating or tough looking in real life. So that's the way they booked him. And you know what? Mm-hmm. You look at him and you're like, he's just a big, tall, fat. He's not fat, but he's a big
dude.
He's just a big dude that Hogan could run over, and that's all he needed to be. And sometimes that's okay. And so One Man Gang, you didn't do anything wrong, sweetheart. You're just a right guy at the right time, brother.
Well, Hogan won with the same antics that he used back in the 80s, and the Dungeon of Doom and the Four Horsemen came out to attack Hogan, but Randy Savage came out to help Hogan, and the Giants going crazy, and they holding him back, and Hogan said at Clash of the Champions that he's going to run wild, and Hogan is going to work his way up to be the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship against the Macho Man Randy Savage, who wants to fight Hogan in Caesar's Palace whenever that time comes.
Yep. And they once again reiterated that Miss Elizabeth and Kevin Green are going to be in their corner again, because clearly we paid it so much attention the first time around that they mentioned it again.
Yeah,
like we cared the second time. That was it for the show, but there were dark matches.
What you got for the dark match?
So, dark matches. You had the Giant defeating Johnny B. Bad in a non-title matchup.
Damn.
What title? TV title?
Because Johnny B. Bad was like TV champ, and he defended it off TV every week for like what felt like forever. Okay. But yeah, the one time he doesn't defend it, he gets smoked by the Giant. Das Wunderkind, Alex Wright defeats Disco Inferno.
Married forever.
We have the Blue Bloods of Lord Steven Regal and Earl Robert Eaton defeating the stud stable of Bunkhouse Buck and Dirty Dick Slater. And Eddie Guerrero defeats the Canadian crippler Chris Benoit. So you have 4 matches, of which 2 of them, well, actually, one of them could have made the main show. And one of the main show matches could have been a dark match, and I would have been perfectly okay with it.
Wow.
I had lots of thoughts watching the show, and one of them was, I mean, hey, you can have a period of time where you're just having the best time of your life, like Lex Luger here in 1996. And man, if I wish I was Hulk Hogan at this time frame, and I'm not talking about the end of his life, I'm not talking about his future, I'm not talking about 30 years from now, that point, or whatever. I'm talking about right there, standalone, 1994, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Dude is making, I don't know, but let's just say, for the sake of this argument, he's making $250,000 just to be on the show, another $250,000 to wrestle on the show, another $250,000 to wear a specific T-shirt on the show, and another $250,000 to do a promo on the show. This dude was making mega bucks hand over fist every week that he was on, man. When he took a week off, he was biting his own nails. He's like, damn it, Nick, why do you have a wrestling competition I have to go to? I could be making $1 million tonight on Nitro. he was making so much money. I mean, imagine if TKO was the Turner KO back then. But he's making so much money back at this time. It would have been just great to be Hulk Hogan's checking and savings account here. But yeah, also like if you're a fan going back in time, going back to Vegas in the mid 90s, and it's like, I'm going to see WCW Nitro tonight. I'm going to see Hogan and Macho Man and Ric Flair wrestle.
Yeah.
Luger and Sting, and it's like cool. And then you're like, who's this? Who are these losers? Eddie Guerrero and Benoit. I don't know. Fuck they are, those losers. I don't see that shit. I'm gonna go to the tables, man. But hey, man, that's why you go back in time. Sometimes it's good to take a look back at what could have, would have, should have, and will never happen.
Ever be. Yep.
Yes. Well, they keep advertising the Clash of the Champions that's taking place the next night, that following Tuesday night. So I have the card right here, and we'll run through it right now. In our opening match, you have Public Enemy, Rock and Johnny Grunge taking on the Nasty Boys, Brian Knobbs and Jerry Saggs, to kick off the show. Then after this, we got Dean Malenko taking on Alex Wright. After this, we got Brian Pillman taking on Eddie Guerrero. And then for your World Tag Team Championship, you have Sting and Lex Luger taking on the Blue Bloods of Lord Steven Regal and Robert Eaton. Mm-hmm. Then you got the Conan and Psychosis match. And then your main event, Ric Flair and the Giant, with Jimmy Hart taking on Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage with Miss Elizabeth and Kevin Green.
So basically, the only thing they did was they shuffled the deck with the dark matches and put out the loser hand on the pay-per-view.
I just like to when you're reading out loud things. I should write things down also. I'm glad it comes up this way. But I remember on Nitro, Bobby Heenan saying, I really like this Brian Pillman guy. Blah 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 blah. I was like, oh yeah, the very same Brian Pillman that scares the shit out of you the very next night. You're like, get the fuck off me! That is the show. Yep. Sorry, I was being unprofessional, but I had neck surgery.
Yeah.
Well, for the dark matches for this card, the first match was Lord Steven Regal taking on Chris Benoit. So you're saying Regal had two matches.
Jesus, why?
And then after the Ric Flair and Hogan and Giant and Macho Man match, they had the one-man gang defending his title against the Disco Inferno.
They really recycled the deck. They really just reshuffled the deck. This is crazy.
Yes, he did.
This is crazy.
Wow.
All right. Well,
this is crazy.
That was it for Monday Nitro, and obviously we know what happened the next night for Clash of the Champions. But on the other channel, on the Monday Night Raw side, January 22nd, 1996, in our opening match for Raw, we have Vader with Jim Cornette taking on Savio Vega.
Oh, it's after the Rumble.
They were in Stockton Civic Auditorium in California.
Stockton, nothing in Stockton.
Yes, and our next matchup, Hunter Hearst Helmsley taking on Razor Ramon. And then in your main event, you have the WWF World Heavyweight Champion, Bret Hart, taking on the Intercontinental Champion, Goldust.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is the one where Vader beat the shit out of Gorilla Monsoon. Gorilla Monsoon was chopping him. And, for, the wrestlers of a different era, like, Gorilla Monsoon died when he was, I don't know. I'm just going to guess. Like 64 or even younger, actually.
Yeah.
And here comes, how old is Adam Copeland? How old is
50, 51, right?
50 something.
50, 51. Yeah.
Man, they still look good, man. And the wrestlers, and how you've heard the thing on the internet. People are just older back then. So much more younger now.
Yeah,
real men back then. Harley Race, all grizzled.
Well, I mean, think of it this way:
microplastics.
The Golden Girls.
Yes. Oh no.
Them chicks was old. Well, they look old.
Were they? No, the Golden Girls were I think the oldest was in her 50s.
B.
Rue McClanahan was in her 40s.
Oh, that's
that hoe.
Yeah, I think B was the oldest, and I think Estelle Getty was the youngest of them all.
Yeah, so it said that's the
Yep.
the grandma.
Yeah,
we gonna call it the old grandma.
Yeah. So and they were in their 40s, and you look at women nowadays, it's like look like they're in their 20s and they're in their 40s. Back in the day, they look like they were in their 70s and their 40s. No offense.
Trish Stratus. Look how
no offense. Yeah, it was a different. It was I don't know what it was back then that made everybody look older than I don't know.
Cigarettes.
Woodstock. It was Woodstock's fault.
That's when the drugs appear.
Reaganomics.
Damn Woodstock.
The Vietnam War. Conflict.
Yeah.
All right, well, fellas, y'all heard the Monday Night Raw, what happened, and you know what happened on Nitro. What show would you guys choose, Nitro or Raw this week?
Monday Night Football.
Oh man, it's brutal.
Who's on that?
I don't even know.
I'm about to look it up right now.
I'll choose that.
Wait a minute. It's just January 22nd. It's playoffs. There is no Monday Night Football.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Ally McBeal, I see. An all-new Party of Five.
Let's see. What was on TV Monday night?
CBS's Becker.
Wait, what was on? I'm literally looking up. What was on TV January 20th?
Mysteries.
The Cosby Mysteries. Oh, Lord. You trying to set them up already?
Boston Public.
Oh, no. Well, no, it wouldn't have been that. No. It wouldn't have been that.
Ally McBeal.
No.
Really?
No, there was a... So, there was a show...
10 years old. 6 years.
There was a movie on NBC called The Babysitter's Seduction, so it definitely would not have been that. There was the syndicated show Bzz, like BZZZ. There was a show called Wienerville, definitely not that.
Hold on now.
Holy sh!
Hold on,
the Babysitter's Seduction.
Yeah, this is. Don't look that up. No, I'm looking. They actually have. Okay, so they. Screen. Oh fuck. Anyway, they actually have a TV listing.
Yes.
So at that time, I think Nitro was on at 9:00, or was it on at 8?
Let's say
8. It was 8. I want to say.
Okay. I could have watched The Nanny. I could have watched a movie called Innocent Victims on ABC. Nanny was on CBS. Melrose Place was on Fox.
Yes.
Wow.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was on NBC.
Oof.
And actually, yep, I would have been watching Star Trek Voyager. That's what I would have been watching.
And if you want to talk about music, One Sweet Day by Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men, that was killing the charts. Exhale from Whitney Houston from the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. Hey Lover, LL Cool J.
Yep.
Sing Everything But the Girl and Breakfast at Tiffany's. They were killing the Billboard Top 100. And top movie at this time was From Dusk Till Dawn.
And I'm gonna take a minute. I'm gonna take a minute right now to give some props to Mariah Carey, because damn it, if she is not owning the fact that the day after October 31st is Mariah Carey Christmas time, she got commercials that came on today. I was like, Mariah Carey singing already? Shit. Yeah, she has owned the jokes about soon as Halloween is over, it's Mariah time. She is owning it now.
Yeah,
she's making money. She's making bank off of that. And
yeah, I heard that shit. As soon as midnight hits after Halloween, after October 31st.
Own it. She owned it.
It's Mariah Carey season. So
yeah.
Good for her.
She owned it.
Too bad Nick Cannon ain't a part of that no more. But
well, he's quite the part of enough, don't you think?
All right.
Dude's got a whole basketball team. I think he's good.
This is you can buy yellow Hulk Hogan wrestling boots for only $50.
Buy them, brother.
Sizes 9 through 14.
There you go. That's your size. Aren't you 10?
Wow, that's crazy.
Can you get the red? Oh wow.
That's
Oh wow.
crazy. I mean, I know they're just.
Is this
costume.
no this? Yeah, and I just saw them. Target was selling them for $90.
What?
Target was selling the Hulk Hogan post Hollywood Hulk Hogan red boots, the ones with the yellow fire on them, for $90.
Damn, y'all should buy those.
Hey, Dom.
Seller is not Target.com though.
Like that. Like that.
I mean, they're cool.
All right,
it's
well,
like if you don't want to totally dedicate yourself. Yes, though.
All right, so what y'all say? Y'all got Nitro
That's
for the win?
Oh,
Y'all watching
No,
Nitro?
I said Star Trek Voyager. I said Star Trek Voyager.
Oh yeah,
That's what I
okay.
said.
as BDC plays off the rules, I will say Nitro is clearly the better show to watch here. So, there you go.
Okay. Well, I got Nitro as well too, because Savage and Ric Flair, got my money. But next week on the Nitro Podcast, we are going to cover the January 29th, 1996 episode, and I'm going to run through the card right quick. We have Ric Flair taking on Hulk Hogan. Then you got the Road Warriors of Hawk and Animal taking on the Faces of Fear, Meng and the Barbarian. Here we
House
go.
match.
Sister Sherry taking on Medusa. And then we have the Giant taking on the Macho Man Randy Savage for the World Heavyweight Championship.
All right.
This takes place in Canton, Ohio. OH.
They really just pull matches out their ass, don't they?
What are you talking about, man?
I want to know where Sherry and Medusa came from.
Where did Giant and Macho come from? Because it's like literally.
No, they've been teasing that.
Hulk Hogan, you got to get that number one spot, brother. But I got to face the Giant first.
He's a world champion.
Who?
Against everybody.
Yep.
I gotta face the Giant, who has not even faced anybody in a match since he lost the title.
Nitro.
Lost the title.
It's gonna be interesting. So that is next week's episode. Strap, maybe we'll see you again.
You never know, because the only thing for sure about Strap Facts
is nothing for sure.
Hey,
it's for sure. We're for sure now.
Never. It's true.
Oh Lord! All right. Well, until then, I'm the Notorious One. I am Dom. I'm here with BDC. I'm here with Strap Facts, and we bring to you the WCW Nitro Podcast. And we will see you guys next time. Boom.